Welcome to This Week in Nerd News, Episode 1, covering the week of March 2nd through March 8th. This week in Nerd Movie News, Sam Raimi's Oz, the Great and Powerful, has proved that you don't need courage or a heart when you have the unstoppable power of nostalgia, as it has grossed over $150 million in its opening weekend.
Thus proving moviegoers worldwide still need a brain. Speaking of Sam Raimi, the director has stated that he intends to work on creating the next Evil Dead film, saying, quote, "I would love to make Evil Dead 4. My brother and I plan to work on the script this summer," end quote. Funny thing though, Evil Dead 4 will actually now be Army of Darkness 2, according to producer Rob Tapert, so as not to conflict with the planned Evil Dead 2, which is the sequel to the remake of the original Evil Dead film that still hasn't come out in theaters yet. Now this is making my head hurt, so I am not going to call this news groovy.
Star Wars Episode VII is officially the return of the Jedi, and the Scoundrel, and the Princess, as Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher have all agreed to reprise their iconic roles in J.J. Abrams' new film. So far, no new or younger cast members have been announced, so it looks like Episode 7 will be set a long time ago in an old folks' home far, far away.
Sam Mendes, director of the most recent James Bond film, Skyfall, has confirmed that he will not be directing the next 007 film, instead choosing to focus on a return to British theater. His next projects will be adaptations of King Lear, in order to be seen as an artiste, and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, because artistes don't make money.
Kevin Smith has started writing Clerks 3, talking it up as some sort of life-affirming film for his fans. Yes, because 3 movies about 2 deadbeats who can't accomplish anything is really life-affirming. Kevin Smith has said this is the last film he'll ever direct.
I intend to hold you to this one, Kev. David Strathairn, former Oscar nominee for Good Night and Good Luck, is in talks to join the cast of Gareth Edwards' Godzilla reboot. Strathairn would join an ensemble cast with Aaron Taylor-Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen, and possibly rumored stars Bryan Cranston and Juliette Binoche. If nothing else, this will be the most well-cast rampaging giant lizard movie ever.
More X-Men alums are returning for Bryan Singer's adaptation of X-Men: Days of Future Past. Alan Cummings has signed back on as Nightcrawler, which is great news, and Halle Berry is returning as Storm, which will probably prove to be as bland and uninspired as her original performance.
This week in Nerd TV news, J.J. Abrams' upcoming Human Cop, Android Cop, Buddy Buddy TV show, the I See What You Did There named Human, has cast its Human Cop. Carl Urban will be joining Michael Ealy's Android Cop for the pilot. So the whole thing will be like Alien Nation if the alien was actually Data and James Caan was actually Judge Dredd. You know, too bad this show will be nowhere near that cool.
Famous funny man and faux news anchor Jon Stewart is going on a 12-week hiatus from The Daily Show to direct his first movie, a drama about journalist Mazar Barahi's 4-month stint in an Iranian prison.
You're right, that is funny.
Taking his place during the leave will be Daily Show correspondent John Oliver. This has led to speculation, entirely by me, that Comedy Central is grooming Oliver either to take Jon Stewart's place if Stewart ends up retiring, or, like Colbert, for Oliver to get his own show.
This week in nerd video game news. So, you remember when all that Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag material was leaking early and forced Ubisoft to start admitting to what everybody already knew? Looks like that's happening again, as information has leaked about Assassin's Creed Rising Phoenix, presumably the new PS Vita game that Ubisoft is currently working on. Check back with us in 2 weeks when we'll have more info, like the main character, setting, release date, price point, a 20-minute demo, and a walkthrough of the first half of the game, and then again a week later when Ubisoft confirms that they're actually making a new Assassin's Creed game.
Computer manufacturer XI3 has announced that their living room targeted PC, the Piston, will be released in time for the holidays, starting at $1,000. XI3 is claiming the box was built with the guidance and partial financial backing of Valve, who, on the other hand, says they are, quote, not currently involved. The Piston, being a Windows PC, will run Steam regardless of how Valve was involved in the project. Valve will definitely provide the Piston with some stiff competition, as Chief Wizard of Valve's Wizengamot, Gabe Newell, has stated in interviews that the official Steam box will also be released this year. This week in tabletop RPGs translated into video games news,
we don't even need the nerd signifier here.
The $1.8 million Kickstarter-backed Shadowrun Returns released a gameplay video of its alpha build this week. So far, it looks very true to the game's pen and paper origins, which should make anyone who spent any portion of the early 90s as a basement-dwelling, Mountain Dew chugging, dice-rolling troll very excited. So yes, I'm very excited.
Last October, listings got out for Star Wars First Assault, a previously unannounced title LucasArts was working on for the Xbox Live Arcade. It has been revealed that First Assault is a downloadable, multiplayer team-based shooter, where players will blast the shit out of each other on maps based on famous Star Wars locales. Even more interesting is that First Assault has been called Step Zero to us getting a Star Wars Battlefield 3, as this title's popularity will be driving the creation of Battlefield 3 to be based on Assault's engine. You know, as if nerds needed any more reason to download and play a Star Wars-based shooter game.
This week, in the ongoing SimCity saga, multiple users have reported that they have been able to continue playing the game offline, in other words, without any cloud server help, for up to 19 minutes by turning off their internet connection. To compound the news, hackers have released a series of tools on Reddit that allow you to activate the game's developer mode. In this developer mode, there are hints that you can do a variety of things that were not included in the game, including building highways outside your city limits, modifying the terrain, and with a little jiggering, you can use the tools to disable the game's requirement for an online connection. This flies in the face of statements made by both EA and Maxis that the game would require, quote, significant re-engineering to include a single-player offline mode. That's all for this week. You can find us on the web at jasonsquared.com. You can find our podcast on iTunes by searching for Jason Squared. You can follow us on Facebook, also by searching Jason Squared. And email us at jasonsquaredshow@gmail.com.